Let's jump right in. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're decoding the actual physiological truths behind building muscle and, more importantly, how to stop totally wasting your energy. We're going to strip away the myths, look straight at the science of muscle adaptation, and show you exactly what it takes to stop spinning your wheels and actually start seeing some real, tangible results.
So why are you exhausted, but your physique hasn't changed in months? It's a pretty provocative question, right? And it definitely strikes a nerve for anyone who's spent hours sweating in the gym with absolutely zero visible progress to show for it. It's incredibly frustrating. You put in the time, you feel the burn, you leave drenched, yet the mirror just refuses to show any changes. Well, today, we're going to explore exactly why that happens, and better yet, how to flip that switch.
To rebuild your routine, here's our roadmap. We're covering the theater lifting epidemic, growth zone physiology, clean reps and smart tools, why structure beats instinct, and finally, the reality of recovery.
All right, part one, the theater lifting epidemic, moving weights versus making gains.
We really need to diagnose the exact problem keeping, honestly, like 90% of gym goers totally stuck. And that's the illusion of productivity. There is a massive difference between just going through the motions to feel tired and actually stimulating your muscles to grow. Theater lifting is basically just putting on a performance. You know the drill, moving weights for 90 minutes, getting a quick pump, and leaving exhausted. But training for growth, that is entirely different. That requires focused intensity and targeted stress that literally forces a biological adaptation.
Because here's the thing, tiredness is not stimulation. Time spent does not equal results earned. Think about it like this. You can spend 2 whole hours just staring at a library wall and learn absolutely nothing. Well, the gym is exactly the same. You can sit among the weights for hours, but if you just move them without challenging the muscle to its absolute limit, you're really just making yourself tired. It is so incredibly easy to fall into this psychological comfort zone of, say, spreading your energy across 5 comfortable sets. Your brain registers that as a lot of work, but channeling absolutely everything you have into just 3 brutal, failure-pushing sets, that is where the real magic happens. Density of effort is what actually matters here. Moving on to part 2, the physiology of the growth zone and forcing your body to adapt. To really get this, you have to understand that your body's underlying biology is inherently lazy. It is strictly focused on survival. Your body actually fights against building muscle because maintaining it is a massive energetic tax. Muscle is super expensive. It demands constant energy, protein, and oxygen. So your body acts like a lazy survivor. If it doesn't absolutely need that muscle to survive the physical stress you're putting it under, it just won't build it. It would much rather stay small and efficient, just in case food ever disappears.
Enter the growth zone. This is the physiological state at the very end of a brutal set where your tempo slows down, your form is an absolute grind, and the muscle is forced to adapt. This is the only language your muscles actually understand to trigger growth. The growth zone isn't your whole workout. It's just that tiny, agonizing window right at the very end of a set when you have to fight for your life to finish the movement. That sheer panic is the exact signal your body needs to finally build new tissue.
Think of the early reps of your workout simply as driving to work. That's the commute. It's easy, it's preparatory, you're just cruising along. But those final 2 or 3 agonizing reps, that is the signal. That's the actual job that pays the bills. If you rack the weight before you reach that signal, well, you basically just did the commute and went right back home.
Which brings us to part 3, clean reps and smart tools. Because execution beats ego every single time.
Now that we know how hard to push, how do we actually execute those critical reps without destroying our bodies? I want you to remember the 10 versus 4 rule. 10 clean, perfectly controlled reps will always defeat 4 chaotic reps where the weight is essentially bullying you. It is never just about moving weight from point A to point B. It's about how the target muscle manages that tension. Control comes first, always.
Trying to impress your gym crush by jumping to weights you definitely aren't ready for is a fast track to joint punishment and ruined gains. Ego lifting is essentially just speed-running injuries. Once your technique disappears and breaks down, all that tension leaves the muscle and goes straight into your tendons and joints. You aren't building muscle mass anymore, you're just booking your next physical therapy appointment.
And rather than buying into the myth that machines are only for beginners, you really need to integrate both tools strategically for the best results. Free weights are fantastic for natural movement patterns and building up those supporting stabilizer muscles, but machines, they are incredible for joint stability and isolating target muscles. Use free weights early in your session, and then when your stabilizers are totally fatigued, switch to machines. That joint stability lets you push the target muscles safely and deeply into the growth zone without any fear of dropping a barbell on yourself.
Part 4. Structure beats instinct. Planning for progressive overload.
We absolutely have to organize this intense effort. Wandering into the gym and just doing whatever you feel like doing is a guaranteed recipe for plateauing. You need to pick a lane and stay in it. Whether it's a 3-day superhero split or a full body plan, structure always beats random instinct. You have to commit to a specific plan to give your body the time to actually respond and adapt to that consistent stress.
Seriously, your phone is your best training partner. This is the Notes app strategy. First, pick your core compound exercises. Second, log every single lift and weight right there on your phone. And third, apply progressive overload by aiming to beat your past self by one more rep or a few more kilos every week. If the numbers in your notes aren't climbing, your muscles definitely aren't either.
Finally, Part 5. Recovery, the growth reality. The gym is just the signal, but recovery is the actual adaptation.
This is the true enabler of all your hard work. Because the actual growth happens entirely while you recover. And premium fuel plays a huge part here. Take the thermic effect of food. Protein actually provides a built-in metabolism boost just through digestion. Up to 30% of the calories are burned during the digestion process. Carbs are only around 5 to 10% and fats are 0 to 3. So you're literally fueling recovery to repair that engine you just pushed and boosting your metabolism at the exact same time.
But here's the catch. The harder you train, the more you absolutely must recover. You cannot redline your body's engine every single day. Constant high-stress training without enough downtime spikes your cortisol, makes your hunger skyrocket, and completely stalls fat loss. If you're stuck in recovery mode 24/7, your progress is going to flatline. So you need a daily muscle recovery checklist. Consume 1.6 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Drink 1 liter of water per hour of training. Protect your 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and walk 10,000 steps for active recovery. Without hitting these basic habits, especially your protein and hydration, you are doing all that brutal work in the gym for literally nothing. No protein means no recovery, and no recovery means no growth. Check these boxes daily, and growth is practically inevitable. So, as we wrap up this explainer, you have a crucial choice to make before your very next workout. Are you going to the gym to perform, or are you going to the gym to grow? The science is totally clear, the structure is right there in your hands, and the choice is yours. Thanks for joining me.